Welcome to Punch TV. I'm your host, Jody Kaysen, and I'm ready to bring you the best of comics and pop culture in Saskatchewan. On today's episode, we'll be talking to Elaine Will and Mark Allard-Will about their new comic, Saskatchewan. And it wouldn't be Punch without Tony the Collector, Craig the Movie Geek, and our very own tweet beat reporter, Hank. But first, we'd like to feature a profile on comics writer Gail Simone, who we recently met at Sask Expo. I love her. I've been a huge fan of Gail's for years, and I was so pleased to find out that she is as wonderful a human being as she is a talented creator. So many people who met her that weekend said that she was friendly and welcoming and appreciative of the opportunity to visit Saskatoon and just to share her work. Gail has written for major titles like Red Sonja and Batgirl and Secret Six and Deadpool and many more. She recently put together the Swords of Sorrow series, and she has a brand new book, Clean Room, which just hit the shelves. But why not let her speak for herself? Here's our interview with Gail Simone. I'm here with writer-creator Gail Simone, one of my heroes. Your body of work is amazing. Probably best known for Red Sonja and her work on Batgirl and a whole ton of DC stuff. You've been in comics and established yourself over the last 10 years. How have you seen the industry change, especially for like a female creator, not only like writing and working with publishers, but attending conventions like this one?
This is the most exciting part, and I'm so happy that these last 10 years are the 10 years that I've been involved in this industry, because 10 years ago at a convention, it was probably 80% male attendees and 20% female, and a huge percentage of those were drugged, by their sons or boyfriends or husbands to the conventions. And it was an industry that didn't really consider that there was a female audience at that time, which always puzzled me, because it's like, why would someone try to cut out 50% of your potential audience right off the top? But as these years have progressed and we've seen more diverse creators come into the industry, more extremely talented female creators, and when I used to do interviews, I could quickly name female creators in the industry, and now I cannot do that in an interview anymore. The list is so long. So that is extremely exciting. And now I'd say the conventions are pretty much 50-50, and I just attended the first Western comic convention in Shanghai, China, where I say it was 75% female. So the demographic is changing, the material's changing, it's just become an industry where a lot of other publishing is seeing declining sales. This industry is seeing increasing sales. So thank you, ladies, and all the diverse creators and people who buy the material. It's been fantastic to watch. I think some of the smartest, most creative stuff is done in the comics and graphic novel industry right now.
Well, it's open, it's innovative, and you can break new ground, and there's kind of a lot of the other formats or media out there are exhausted to a certain extent.
It's true, and we don't have the constraints of like dealing with a movie budget, so we can have lots of art styles and things happen that you couldn't afford to do in a film unless it was a huge blockbuster with a huge budget. And so the imagination is the only containment, in this, which is what excites me about it and why I work in this industry, is that it's really limitless.
Well, you've recently created or architected, is that a word? You're the architect of the series Swords of Sorrow, where it's a lot of female creators coming together. Can you just elaborate on the process of how that came to be and who's involved?
How it came about is that I've always wanted to do a crossover. I've always wanted to be like the architect of one. And I love crossovers of any kind. It's fun to do that world building and make it just feel like it's larger than just one or two characters. And so when the opportunity came up that Dynamite asked me if I would be interested in doing one with their female characters that they have at Dynamite Comics, and I said, yeah, let's talk about it. And he, well, actually, first he was just telling me the idea, and I said, oh yeah, that sounds great. Who are you going to get to write it? And Nick from Dynamite said, well, we were hoping that you would. And I said, oh, okay, yeah, I would like to write it, but I want to bring in this female creative team, and everyone just did amazing. And Erica Schultz, who just pitched in and did not only writing with G. Willow, but lettering and coordinating some things. And so without her, I don't know that the whole thing would have come together as smoothly. So she's the one who did a lot of stuff that the rest of us don't know how to do, and as well as doing an amazing job writing. So thank you, Erica, for that. You cannot know how appreciating that was. But Marguerite Bennett turned in a great script. We have some newcomers, Nikki Kendall, and she's already had a reputation as a great prose writer, and it was her first comic work, and she brought it to the table. And it's really fun to be able to sit down and make out a long list of female creators and female artists and female cover artists, as we did with Red Sonja, and have it be a nice long list, and everybody kind of get together and really create this thing. And the really saddest part is when it's over, it's like, oh, what can we work on together next? We've got to come up with something, because we really did enjoy it, and everybody brings their own thing to it and just makes the whole better for it.
Love the characters that you create. I mean, your Batgirl and your characters in Secret Six, etc. They're so multifaceted. It's so great to see humanity in all of them. So love it.
Well, that's my favorite thing to do, is to do a well-rounded character different from things we've seen before, or if it's a character that has existed for 70 years, to add to it and bring some modern takes and interest to it. And I really like, the whole goal is to have the reader involved and wanting to know what's happening in these characters' lives and how they make it through these terrible struggles that they're faced with, or laugh along with them, or whatever the case may be. And so it's hard to do that with one or two dimensions, you know.
We're really excited about your upcoming creator-based work. Do you want to tell us about what's on the horizon for you?
Yes, I'm really excited. I have a new book coming out through Vertigo that will be out the third week of October, called Clean Room. And this is a book about a woman who is a global self-help guru, very charismatic, and she has this really well-appointed offices in Chicago, and way deep below these offices is this hermetically sealed room called the Clean Room. And Astrid has this huge secret, and she thinks you have a secret too, and if you end up in her clean room, she will get that secret out of you. And then we have this other character, Chloe, who's a journalist, and she comes home one night and she finds her apartment in a certain state that has happened, and a state of violence, and Astrid's self-help book is laying open on the counter, and she decides that she's going to find out what all these secrets and rumors she's been hearing about Astrid are. And as a journalist, she decides to go after her and take her down. And Astrid is terrified of her. She's the only thing she's scared of is a journalist with nothing to lose.
Now, will this be an ongoing series, or is it finite?
Clean Room is an ongoing series, and it's adult content. So it's like psychological horror book, and it's drawn by this amazing artist in Britain called John Davis Hunt, and beautiful covers, amazing art, just something I'm so excited for it to come out that I cannot wait for people to see what he's done with this material.
Cool. I can't wait either. Like, I'm sitting on pins and needles waiting for it. Anyways, I'm really looking forward to seeing Clean Room and all your work in the future. And I hope that you will come back to Saskatoon again and visit our con and bless us with your great talent.
Saskatoon has been amazing. The people are great, and the Canadian audience is amazing. Every time I get a chance to go to Canada, I'm always just make a bunch of new friends and want to come back as soon as possible.
Punch TV is brought to you in part by Amazing Stories, providing Saskatoon with comics, games, toys, graphic novels, t-shirts, and more for over 22 years. Online at AmazingStoriesComics.com, in person on 8th Street in Saskatoon.
Welcome back. We are joined in studio with Saskatchewan creators Elaine Will and Mark Allard Will. This is an awesome comic. You debuted this at the expo. How did that go?
It went really well. We had a sellout success with the stock that we brought with us, and the people of Saskatoon really seemed to take to it.
So what was the impetus behind creating Saskatchewan in the first place?
Well, it's a running joke between Elaine and I. So it was a joke about CFL culture, about Rough Riders culture, and to create a parody of superhero culture, which is something that I've always wanted to do because I love non sequitur comedy, especially when it's in parody form, and huge fan of the Mystery Man universe. So yeah, had to happen.
Perfect. So Elaine, are you a big Rough Rider fan?
Well, only in as much as I'm a Saskatchewan resident. Like, if I say that I'm not, I probably have to revoke my citizenship.
Yeah, by default, I
By
think we
default.
kind of all are Rough Rider fans. It's really, really funny, and I really like the style of it. Like, you did something really different. It's kind of like a throwback to like the look of older comics. How did you get that result, and was that a conscious choice?
Yeah, well, we decided we wanted to do the art in sort of a retro Joe Shuster style, and that we wanted to make the coloring look really old. So I added like a newsprint texture, and then I moved the channels around in Photoshop so that the colors are off register, like a really old, badly printed comic.
Well, it's cool because the colors too that you've selected are very much like in line with, a time when maybe there wasn't that much selection for the inks.
Yeah.
So it looks really cool. What is next for Saskatchewan? I mean, obviously you want to sell out as many copies of this first. Will there be more?
I'm currently writing a script for Saskatchevengers, which is the penned sequel at the moment. So obviously going to be a parody of the Marvel Universe Avengers. So yeah, and that's going pretty well at the moment. So
Cool. Now, I think this would also make a fantastic cartoon as well. Like animation would just like bring it to life that much more.
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, get that in the works. Yeah.
We'll think about that.
Because we really, really
For
love
sure.
it. So you have some big things coming on the horizon. You'll be in England, and you're going to be doing a panel. Can we talk about that, or is that still sort of secret?
We haven't got the date nailed down yet, but yeah, I'm going to be doing a panel on mental health in comics with some UK creators. So that's going to be really cool.
It's good stuff. We like to see Saskatchewan people doing well all over the globe. Now, tell me a little bit about Cuckoo's Nest Pressed, because that's the publisher that is put out these last couple books of yours, and tell us how that got started.
Well, it was the publishing imprint that I came up with to self-publish my graphic novel, Look Straight Ahead. And I really liked the name and the logo that I'd come up with, so I just put it on all of my comics after that.
Cool. So it is entirely like your company then?
Well, it's both of ours now.
Awesome. Do you have any other comics or stories in the works that you want to share?
Yeah, I'm currently, or finished writing actually, it's a completed script, writing a comic called Axeman, which is the kind of highfalutin description we have for it is that it's Wreck-It Ralph meets Vikings and pirates.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we can't wait to see it, and as soon as you have that ready, we'll have you back on to talk
Awesome.
about that
Thank you
as
very
well.
much.
Excellent. Well, thank you for bringing us to Saskatchewan. We do have a copy to give away. So again, tweet to us or comment on our Facebook page as to why you deserve to have this awesome comic, because it is awesome. I read it. I can attest to that 100%. And we wish you guys the best of luck with launching Saskatchewan throughout the globe.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us today. All right, well, now it's time for Tweet Beat.
Hello, wizards and muggles. Please take a seat. My name is Hank, and it's time to rock the Tweet Beat. That's right, this month on Tweet Beat, we will be talking about space sickness, plumber's crack, and this, World War Moo. World War Moo by Michael Logan is the best sequel to a zombie cow novel ever. The Brits are infected, and the world wants to nuke them. Hashtag beef. This review comes from two of the coolest dudes in Saskatoon, Braden and Ethan, last name redacted to protect their secret identities. Super Mario Maker on the Wii U is a fun, creative game where you can unleash all of your creativity and go nuts. Hashtag the princess is in another castle. Grumpy Bookbeat tweets, Rick and Morty on Adult Swim is a show packed with sci-fi weirdness, aliens, and more drunken vomit than Futurama's Bender could spew out. AKA Baron tweets, Everest in What? Oh, you could have told me that beforehand. Acabaron tweets, Everest in theaters. Action and drama on the screen seem to slide down the mountain when the movie should intensify the most. 69 out of 100. And that wraps things up. If you would like to be as cool as Acabaron and have your review shared on the air, then tweet away, Meryl. Tweet away! And include the hashtag PunchTV. My name is Hank. Follow me at Hank and Kelso and at Shaw Punch TV. See you next month on Tweet Beat.
All right, it is time for The Collector with Tony. Tony does actually collect a lot more stuff than just Star Wars, and we had planned to talk about like comics and stuff, but he was so giddy, like a child at Christmas, over all the new The Force Awakens Star Wars toys that we have to talk about Star Wars some more. So here is some of the loot that you got on Force Friday.
Bam! This is why I'm alive today. This goes back since when I was a kid in 1977. I collected Star Wars toys for the first time, and this new movie looks like the original movies that came out 4, 5, and 6, and this is just the most exciting thing in my life right now.
They're really beautiful, and like they're nicely constructed, very polished. Like we got like high quality propylene or something.
It's definitely plastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've made them a little better than they did before, but very similar too. The shapes are the same, and just the actual products are awesome.
It's way better than that like cheap cardboard that came out in the 70s,
I
right?
don't know. I don't think anything's better than the cardboard. The cardboard was pretty awesome.
Cardboard is kind of awesome. A place in my heart for sure with the cardboard. But these are really deluxe. These are lovely.
Awesome. I'm very happy and excited about these toys. Yes.
I want to hear the saga of how did you get all this stuff, and did you get all the stuff that you wanted?
You know what? Force Friday was on the 4th of September. The 4th was Force Friday, and they released a huge amount of toys. There was different companies, and they were all coming out that day. So me and my girlfriend, we divided and conquered. She went to one Walmart at just before 7. I went to another one, and we were able to get some cool stuff. And then I went to Toys R Us. But the thing is, though, the more people I know that are collectors, the more people I was too busy chatting with. So there was a lot of stuff I didn't get because I was very friendly, and people were like, oh, I want that. So it was like, all right, go ahead. So there was no real like pushing and shoving that you've heard about here. So it was quite good. And there were some people that didn't get what they wanted because there was not a lot of product on the shelves. But since that, we've gone to North Battleford, we've been to Lloydminster. Well, we meaning my girlfriend, Kathy's been to Lloydminster, and we've been buying stuff that we find. So it's really exciting. And that's what toy collecting is. It's collecting and finding things, not just going on eBay, being like, oh, I really want this, and buying it. It's a matter of like finding the stuff you want, and it's exciting. And that's why I'm a collector. This is the reason why I collect, because of the excitement that I get when I go do this stuff.
It's the thrill of the hunt.
It's super exciting. The thrill of the hunt is everything, I believe, yes. So.
I also have to say that you are a very lucky man, and that like Kathy must really love you a lot.
No, I just think she's doing it for the money I give her on the side. I pay her 10% of what she buys. No, I'm very lucky. And that's the thing about collecting. It's if you want something, you're gonna have to like make an effort to get it. So she loves it just as much as I do. It's not just me that loves it. She loves it too. So,
okay, that's good. That's important. It's got to be a partnership, equal.
Equal partnership, yes.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, so when you were getting all this stuff and filling up carts and filling up your car and back and forth and back and forth and making multiple trips and spending all this money. Did you spoil Christmas for anyone? For any kid who's not going to get these toys now?
I don't think so. And the reason why I don't think so is they're hard to get now, but I think that the closer to Christmas, there'll be more and more toys released. So like maybe right now it's kind of slow, but I know that the talk is, I don't think Hasbro's in it and the other companies are in it to actually not make money. So I'm pretty sure you'll see more and more product released at Christmas time. So as far as spoiling Christmas, I don't think It's going to be like the Cabbage Patch doll
Okay, yeah.
craze where you just can't get them anymore. I'm pretty sure that the TIE Fighter will not be the new Cabbage Patch doll. So.
Okay, so is there a Cabbage Patch doll in all of this? Like, is there a really rare item that people are really after?
I think that people are after the main characters are really good, and no, just everything is just exciting. I think that people really want the Star Wars is very exciting, and collectors are going crazy for it, and the kids are going crazy for it, and even like my girlfriend's going crazy for it. And I even know that you're going crazy for it. So yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, they are really exciting, and it's cool to see the new characters and the new robots and the new, ships and all of that. So it definitely is getting us hyped up for the movie when it comes out.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I think that collecting should be something that you enjoy, and this is the epitome of enjoyment for me. This is everything that I do, and this is why I do it. And that's why I came on today. I was going to talk about comics, but instead I'm talking about toys because this is the most exciting part of collecting, when you want something and you love it and you find it and you just know that it's awesome. And I do open my toys, as you can see. I'm not just sitting there looking at a bunch of stuff. I open up at least 3% of all the toys I buy. So that's something right there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for bringing it. And next time, let's see something different from your collection.
I promise next time, I won't show Star Wars anymore this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Year.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming
You're
on.
welcome.
It's pretty great. All right. Well, when Craig and I were at the Sask Expo, we started talking about our favorite con movies and all those different themed kind of documentaries and stuff. So here's a little taste of what we talked about. We are at the con, Craig, myself, and the con experience is pretty awesome, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, there's obviously lots of things to see and do, and lots of great costumes, and I think everybody just coming down in the spirit of loving geekdom and each other, and it's a good time. There's no big fights or anything.
Not yet, anyway.
I haven't seen any anyway. Yeah.
Well, if you missed the con or you just want another dose, there's some really good con movies that people can enjoy. We got a few to run down for you. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, yeah, it's a list of sort of con-related movies, fandom-related movies, if you will. I think let's do 5 of them, and we'll start with The People versus George Lucas, which is a documentary about, George Lucas and how he's gone from being sort of the king of fandom to one of the most hated guys in fandom due to his treatment of, the Star Wars movies, and a guy that fought against, coloration when Ted Turner was trying to do that stuff because he said, the artist... The film should be as the artist made it, and then turns around and monkeys with the trilogy as much as he can. So that's definitely a great one that's worth checking out. Another one that's interesting is Bronies, and that one really gets inside the con culture, but in a different way. Not so general as what we're doing today, or sorry, not so wide as what we're doing today, but a lot more generally focused. So it's a neat, kind of sweet, but also sad sometimes little movie about the men who love My Little Pony. Definitely worth checking out. Galaxy Quest.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to meet William Shatner today, so I'm really excited for that. But Galaxy Quest is basically a satire of Star Trek, not only the show itself, but the show behind the show, and the personalities and the conflicts that the actors actually had, Shatner and Nimoy and all those guys. So you've got, Tim Allen, and then someone like Sigourney Weaver, whose only job is to repeat what the computer says, and just silly things like that. So that one, it's a really, really funny movie. Actually, Sam Rockwell in that movie is basically a play off the red shirt from Star Trek. So his name is Guy, and which he points out, I don't even have a name. I'm going to be the first one to die. So that one's great. Another one that's, I would call this one so-so, but it belongs on the list, Fanboys. Now, again, going back to George Lucas, the plot of this movie takes place right before the release of The Phantom Menace, and a group of friends find out that one of their best friends is dying, so they want to get him to see a screening of Phantom Menace before he passes away, and so the whole movie's a road trip movie, basically, where they're trying to get him to sneak into Lucasfilm and Skywalker Ranch to be able to see a screening. And of course, I don't know if that turns out so well for him in the end, death aside, but I mean in terms of the movie. And the last one is another great little faction movie, Trekkies. And there's actually a sequel, Trekkies 2, but Trekkies takes a look at Trekkies and the culture of fandom for Star Trek. And it's actually when I first saw the movie years ago, I was like, oh, I don't know if this will be good or not, but it's actually quite an entertaining movie. I think it was produced by Denise Crosby, might have been one of the producers who played Tasha Yar on Next Generation. So definitely, again, a look inside that culture just the same way you get with Bronies.
It is. It's like an anthropological study of like this very specific geek group. And the Star Trek conventions have been going on for years and years and years, like long before the Comic Con exploded in the way that it has now. So you get a glimpse into that, and you get a glimpse into those people's lives, and it's like watching a nature show.
Yeah, definitely. So that's 5 movies about fandom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, that caps off another episode of the nerdiest show on Saskatchewan screens. Thank you to superstar writer Gail Simone for taking the time to talk to us, to Elaine and Mark for sharing their amazing new work, Saskatchewan, and thanks to Tony, Hank, and Craig, to all our crew, and to you for tuning in. We would love to hear your comments and suggestions, and keep those tweet reviews rolling in. You can get in touch with us on our Facebook page or by tweeting us at Shaw Punch TV. Thanks for watching, and keep your dukes up.